Hi everybody, I hope this is working. I'm gonna try to save this to my fan page. Okay, looks like it's pulling up. Okay. Sorry, I will get here in a second. Can you guys hear me okay, or do I need my headphones? So I don't know why this is not letting me share. Okay. I'm gonna try to share it. Okay, you guys can hear me, that's good news. I'm still trying to figure out how to share this thing. Oh, I'm trying to go live twice. Okay, maybe I won't be able to share it, but it's okay. I will just start reading on our fabulous newest release, Falling for Centerfield by Sophia Summers, Heather B. Moore, and Rebecca Connolly. I hope you guys were able to watch Sophia's reading of chapter 1 yesterday. If not, it's still on our Facebook, Sweeney Sports Romances Facebook. And we're also doing a giveaway today this whole week, for a $25 Amazon gift card. And you just have to comment on our original post. So let me just do one more thing, and if it doesn't work, then I will start. Oh, okay, this one's gonna work. So I am just gonna share to my fans of HB Moore page, which is actually a group. I always forget that. So anyway, you're welcome to share this as well to your other pages. Hopefully we'll get more watchers. If not now, then later would be great. So I'm doing a live read right now of chapter 2, Falling. Okay, awesome. So here is the beautiful book. I ordered it from Amazon and it came yesterday. So I wanted to read from the real book. So I'm really excited. I read this when it was in editing, so hopefully I'll have a very smooth narrative voice. Don't hold your breath. Okay, here we go. Chapter 2. Cole entered the Glass Onion shouting, "Big Dog has arrived!" Everyone in the place cheered like they always had every other time. He stomped in place, wiggled his hips, turned in a circle while shuffling his feet, all while the room chanted, "Big Dog, Big Dog." He held up his hands, drinking it in. He was ready to relax with the guys and whatever girls they all had picked up. He headed in their direction, to their usual table, but stopped when Harlow's head came into view in between Riker and Axel. She had the most beautiful hair. It shimmered when the light hit it, so light it was almost white. Gorgeous. She let it down from the bun that held it captive, and it fell down around her shoulders like a shimmery sheet. Now, suddenly, he didn't feel so relaxed. Now he felt self-conscious and unsure. Someone bumped his shoulder. Levi. "What kept you?" "Oh, you know, playing some catch." Levi shook his head. "Never enough." "No way. Gotta keep the magic hands hot." I love Cole. He's funny. "Come on, magic hands. No promising we saved you any food. Better order up some more." "I'm starving." "Always." Harlow's eyes met his as they made their way closer to the table. He continued talking to Levi, but barely heard his own voice. "How's the season? We gonna beat you again?" Harlow looked away and then back again, her face heating in an adorable pink. "Now hold on, we beat you two." Levi frowned. "But probably. We're having a rough year." Cole shrugged. "It'll be good to see when you're in town. We should get out on the ocean." Up ahead, the table burst into laughter and Harlow raised her hands. "But I had to beat Cole, you know, like he always wins all the time." They all turned to look at him, and she held a hand over her mouth. "Did he just hear me?" They laughed. Cole called over, "You explaining to the guys how you slammed a kid with a ball today?" Everyone laughed harder, and her face turned bright red. He slid into their table, everyone moving over, so he sat next to Harlow in the booth. How did that always happen so smoothly, and why? He eyed his brothers in suspicion, but they didn't act like anything was different. Not one to complain about time with a stunning woman. He needed to get over his stress around her. She was just like everyone else, just smarter, more talented, and totally smoking. He grinned and stretched his arm over the back of the booth around her. So not really like anyone he had ever met. He'd always felt a bit intimidated by Harlow Amber. And now she had gone and turned into such a hot little package since he saw her last, just because she always did better in every single class than he did, just because she wrote articles for the newspaper all through college, and he struggled for every paragraph he typed. And he could never dream of keeping up with her witty conversation. Just the thought of Harlow made him sit taller and try. She had always seemed like a whole different class of human, but he could treat her like a normal girl. He could. Just watch him. When he turned to smile at her, he heard random words come out of his mouth. So, how many sugar packets can you eat at one time? Riker snorted, and the other guys took a drink to try to pretend like they weren't all laughing at him. How many? She swallowed and took a drink. Whatever. She looked away like he was making fun of her or something. No, I'm sorry. We have a contest from Belltown days. He reached for her, but she shimmied away. Axeman kicked him under the table. He cleared his throat. Think, what could he say? Axel leaned forward. So tell us what you're working on, Harlow. He eyed Cole like he'd grown another head. He wished he had. Cole let out a long breath of air, trying to relax. Of course. Just take it easy and ask her about himself. Normal stuff. He watched her face while she answered, her eyes lighting up. Her dimples came and went, depending on how she pronounced her words. And every now and then she smiled about something, and then her whole face lit. I want to cover women's issues, and I can sometimes, but mostly I'm doing the same kind of things I was when you guys were there. I'm at all the sporting events, even doing after-game interviews, only there's no six-pack around to liven things up. Axeman nudged him. He jumped in. That's great. I bet you would do a good job with the women's issues, being a woman. She looked around at all the guys trying not to laugh, and her face went white, and then she stood. Look, it's time for me to get back home. I don't need this. No, it's not like that. Need what? Cole didn't know what was eating her, but he didn't want her thinking they were making fun of her. It's me, not you. They just can't see me in you. They can't imagine I'm an idiot. Everyone knows it. She started scooting out of their booth, but he blocked her with his legs, hoping she'd stay. I get it. Look, I'm going home. She eyed him until he stood to let her pass. When she paused for half a breath, their bodies pressed together between the table and the wall. He rested a hand on her hip. Stay. I'm sorry. Her eyes met his, vulnerable, hurt, and he didn't know what to do about it. Stay, he repeated. We're not trying to be jerks. She shook her head but sat, and he called it a small victory, but he vowed not to say much to her the rest of the night for fear he'd scare her off. For a moment, his worst fear, the awkward silence, tied everyone's tongue, but then Riker held out a lucky stone, because Riker's always lucky, right? Everyone groaned. No, come on, stroke the stone. He held it in his palm, a smooth, small river stone he'd picked up somewhere as a kid and swore it was a secret to his uncanny luck. No one could argue with him, because the guy was luckier than anyone they knew. Cole reached a couple fingers out, rubbing the stone. Then Riker got to Harlow and paused. Bonfire, I don't let everyone rub the stone. I don't want to mess with the luck. Her laugh was nervous. It's okay. He pushed his hand forward. But I think I'm going to need some extra Harlow luck at our game tomorrow. Would you do me the honor? He reached closer. Cole would have laughed at his over-serious expression if he didn't know that Riker was being absolutely sincere. He took his luck seriously. She must have noticed, because she reached out and ran her finger down the top of the stone. Thank you. He brought it to his mouth and kissed it and then put it back in his pocket. The others joked and teased Harlow some more, and they even got a small smile from her. After a few more minutes, she checked her watch. I've got to make it a night. Her gaze found his, her eyes sinking, insecure. She paused, waiting for something from him, but he fumbled. We should tuck in, too. She nodded, disappointment shading her expression. He kicked himself. What did she want from him? If only he knew. Our office will send you the copies of the articles we run and any websites that we pick up. If you guys can share the links on your social media, I'm sure our illustrious Dean will appreciate it and continue to worship you. She waved her hand without looking back and said, Bye. Cole slumped. I am an idiot. What's the matter with you? Axel shook his head. I just don't know what to say to her. That woman scares me. He swirled his glass. In a good way. She's everything, man. The whole package. They're silent, so he lifted his eyes, and they were all having some kind of face conversation. Look, cut it out. It's nothing. I've still got my touch. Invite a few hotties over, and we'll get this party going. Hopefully that would be one of the last... scene break. Hopefully that would be one of the last times she ever had to see the six-pack up close. She didn't need a bunch of athletic guys making fun of her. She didn't need them hitting on her either, she reminded herself. She was having too much fun before Cole got there, joking with the other guys, even missing the old days when they used to talk after the games, which set her up to be hurt by Cole minutes later. What was it about the guy? As soon as he got there, she climbed up. And then his overconfident swagger, the way everyone loved him, cheered for him in the restaurant, ugh. The couple getting into their car next to hers both looked her way. She just waved and sat in her cold car, breathing into her hands and turning on the heater. Cole was too much like the guys on the football team. He could have played with them, started this season trying it out. He would have been in Devin's group, hung out at his parties. She remembered him in those days. She used to hang out around the practice field with all the other girls like her, hoping for a drop of attention, hoping to get a practice jersey to wear to the games, hoping for a football boyfriend. Cole had run by how many times without once looking in her direction. She rolled her eyes at her own cluelessness. If she had known then what she knew now, she would have run far away in the opposite direction and hoped none of them ever took notice, like she should be doing right now. Instead, she just sat and thought about how Cole shimmered with masculine power. The other guys were funny, and she had to admit she was flattered to be included in their group. But flattery is not a good reason to leave your heart open to being hurt again by a guy who cared about nothing except his own fame. Wake up, Harlow. Cole had a different girl on his arm every time he went somewhere. So she needed to remind herself every girl wanted to be the one who convinced Cole Hunter to go exclusive, but he never would go exclusive. Maybe not even after he was married. She hated to think such a thing, but better to face the facts now. These athletes weren't the one-woman kind. She'd discover the hard way, and she knew that. So she'd be stupid to spend even another second wishing to be part of their group, wanting to be in Cole's life, even though she wondered more than once what it might be like to be held by him again, only this time not catching her from a fall, but feeling the power of his arms around her because he cared, because she was special. Chapter 3 will be read tomorrow by Rebecca Connolly. And I'm glad this chapter was a little shorter than the one I read in Hitching the Picture because I kind of have a cold. My throat is a little raspy, so I didn't want to, have to take a break to chug water or something. But I'm so excited about this. I hope you guys will love this story and love this series. I wish you could all be behind the scenes with us when we discuss these guys. We still discuss them, and it's weird when you write a story. You feel like they're kind of a real person. I know that, here's the back, it's so pretty, and the spine. Of course, they're not real people, but as writers, we always pull little things from our own lives and those lives around us, so they are kind of a combination of awesome people that we know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow. Well, Rebecca will see you tomorrow. Bye.